Being clever with money can look different to different people based on your perspective, based on what chapter of your life that you're in, and whether or not you perceive the way you're spending or someone else is spending to be wasteful. Today, we're going to talk about the 12 top ways that people perceive money to be wasted. And then we're going to talk about that and see what our opinion is. I hope you'll stick around. If you're new to the channel, I was raised by Depression-era parents that were born in 1929 and 1931, and they raised me a lot of the ways that they were raised and with a lot of the same money-saving habits. And my kids, who were born anywhere from 1983 to 1998, also were raised with some of those money-saving Depression-era concepts. So the way we look at things may be different than someone that was raised maybe in the city or someone that was raised to a more affluent family. There's so many opinions in this world, and you know what they say about opinions. Everybody has one. So these 12 ways that people think the money is wasted when people spend it are in no particular order. The first one is eating out and carry out. A lot of us know that we could take that money, go to the grocery store, and it would go a farther ways than if we just spent it on carry out. That has gone up a lot. But many of us also try to do eating out in ways that save us money, including only ordering water, making that meal last 2, 3, or 4 meals, even if that means bringing it home and adding other ingredients to it. There are ways to make eating out more frugal. So that is a popular opinion that people waste money eating out. What do you think? The second way that people say other people waste money is on unused subscriptions. Now, they even have apps that you can pay for now to see if you're paying for extra subscriptions. This I've never understood, because if we're tracking our spending and we're watching what is going in and out of our account and managing our budget, we should know if we're paying for extra subscriptions or paying for duplicate ones, and we should take action. Now, in our house, we have 2 subscriptions that we watch, that we flip back and forth and use every single day. So we don't use extra subscriptions or have extra ones just sitting there. But let me know, has this been a problem for you or someone that you've known? Because this can add up quickly if we're not aware of what we're paying for every single month. The third way that they say people waste money is on impulse purchases. Now, this can be from food to clothing to going through a drive-through. It could add up. It's just something we haven't planned to do ahead of time. They say the average person has 9.75 impulse purchases per month that add up to $281.75. Now, that has to be an average, because I know I certainly don't have that much per month. I don't make enough money to spend that much per month on impulse purchases. But this can add up quickly if we're not tracking our money again and thinking about the way that we're spending it, or that money's not already set to a specific purpose. What do you think? Now, I just recently did a video on the types of impulse purchases, and so many of them were common and ones that we don't even see coming. I'm going to link that at the end of this video in case you're interested, because I could identify with most of them. And I think a lot of people can. The fourth way is high transportation costs. Now, this can be either from buying an expensive car, buying a gas guzzler, or even taking frequent flying trips that are leisure. It could add up in a lot of different ways. So, high transportation costs is one of the ways that they say people waste money on. Maybe it's making too many of those trips down to the grocery store or too many trips back and forth because you've forgotten something at work. These can all add up. So let me know, are high transportation costs a problem for you? The fifth way is they say that overspending on food is a way that people waste money, whether it is buying things that are too expensive, buying things that we don't use, or just stockpiling a bunch of stuff that we're not going to use before it goes bad. There are a lot of ways that we can overspend on food. And right now, it's pretty easy to do that because prices are so high. So, overspending on food, we can control that to a certain extent by buying clearance, by buying sales, and by planning what we're going to use our food for and making sure that stuff doesn't go bad. And that is a way that we can control it to a certain degree. But overspending on food is right up there. The sixth way is buying name brand items when an alternate that is just as good is available. Now, this can happen when we don't do our research, or maybe we're scared to try that lesser brand, or maybe someone has told us that the name brand is the best. Don't even mess around with not buying the name brand. Some of us were raised in name brand households. So, this is a way that they say we waste money. Let me know what you think about that. The seventh way that they say people waste money is by neglecting preventative maintenance. Now, as a former nursing home administrator, I can tell you that preventative maintenance is so important. It's important with our air conditioning systems, it's important on our dishwashers, it's important on everything that we own, including our car and getting our oil changes. So, preventative maintenance is an area that they say people waste money on by ignoring getting those things done. And then it costs them more in the long run. The eighth popular opinion of what people waste money on is excessive technology upgrades. That means every time something comes out that's newer or better, that they upgrade what they have when it's still working, when nothing is wrong with it, because they want to have the best. Now, I come from one of those households where I don't upgrade my phone until it dies, completely dies. That means I can't get it repaired. I can't install updates because it's too old, something like that. And right now, I think I have like an iPhone 12. I don't even know what the new one is right now, but I just bought a refurbished laptop because my old one was being held together with packing tape. So, not everybody is as extreme as I am on that, but that is something that I really hate letting go of the money on because it takes a good chunk to replace something that you need that requires technology. Now, don't kill the messenger because some of these are ones that may have some argument to them. And remember, I didn't create this list. The ninth way that people say people waste their money is on exotic pets. And they go on to define it as pets that are maybe even full bred that you paid a lot of money for just for the purpose of you buying that pet and taking it home, when there are other pets that could be adopted. Now, I don't think I've ever paid for a pet. One time I bought a dog at a pet store, and all I was required to do was pay for his shots, and it was $30. So, if you call that paying for a pet, that's the only time I've actually ever paid money for a pet. They've all either been given to me or been born here on the farm, or they just showed up at our house and we adopted them. The 11th popular opinion on how people waste their money is on extended warranties. Now, there's a lot of people that believe in them. There's a lot of people that keep track of their paperwork and they know their extended warranty inside and out, and they take advantage and use them, and it's saved them money. But overall, there's a lot of people that will purchase them, lose the paperwork, not understand how they work, and never be able to cash in and use them if or when they need them. So I think that's where some of that common opinion comes from. The 12th way that people say people waste their money is on recreational vehicles. This includes golf carts, motorcycles that are not used for transportation back and forth to work and are just used for fun, boats, and RVs fall in this category. And we have an RV. I come from a family who always traveled. My dad had a homemade camper that went on the back of our pickup. In fact, he built two of them during my lifetime that we camped in. And we always went camping with a camper, usually off grid. Now, I do have a camper. Many of you have seen it. I've given tours of it and I've camped in it and stayed in the winter in the South the last 2 years in that. And that has been an affordable way for me to have a vacation home during the winter time. This is a really popular opinion of a lot of people that these are wasteful and cost you more money than they are worth. But let me know. These are 12 of the most popular ways. Do you have another way, or do you have something to say about one of these 12? We all spend our money differently and we save our money differently. There may be some things that are similar, but overall, no household looks the same on how they save or how they spend. But whether or not you think people are wasting money in certain areas, there's one thing that is in common, that if people are spending too much, they have the ability to spend too much. Now, I'm not saying they have the money, they may just have the credit and have the ability to spend too much. So I think that's one of the things we really have to look at is our ability to spend more in any of these areas, is it based on us having the money or having the credit? If it is based on us having the money, then I don't think anybody should say anything about how they think we're spending our money, because we have the option to spend it any way we want if we're able to pay our bills and if we're able to stay out of debt. But if we are spending credit and we have no idea how we're going to pay for some of these things that maybe fall in categories that we really can't afford because we don't have the cash, then maybe we should take a harder look at some of the choices that we're making. I know I don't spend money the same as all of you do. And I know there are things I do that you would say, well, I don't do that. That's a waste of money. I would do it like this. And just as an example, I'm going to show you how I make my coffee in the morning.
It's time to make the coffee. I like to put a little bit of artificial sweetener in there. I use Truvia or stevia or whatever I find that is a good buy. And I put in probably 2 or 3 teaspoons of that. And then I still have some of these Keurigs that I bought on clearance. They were $1.99 for 10, and I bought like 6 boxes. So I'm still using these up and having coffee for like 20 cents a day. Normally I don't use a Keurig, but I had cut back to 1 cup of coffee a day. My husband doesn't drink coffee at home very often anymore. So me making it at home like this just saves a lot of money and time, and catching it on sale was a really good deal. I still have a decent back stock of coffee, so we are in good shape there. But this is usually one of the first things I do in the morning, and it's my favorite thing to do. I do know how to make my own homemade creamer, but I usually just catch it on sale and use that instead. I find that I like it better. One thing about saving money is everybody's not going to do it the same way. Some of us are going to do things the way we know that we like them and try to catch the sales that go with that. So that is something that I do a lot of times. If I know I like something, I try to follow the sales, and sometimes I don't make my own if I like the purchased kind better.
So many people could watch this little video and say, I don't sweeten my coffee. I don't use artificial sweeteners. I don't use purchased creamer. There could be so many things that people could watch just in this one process and say that I am being wasteful.
And sometimes when I catch this on sale with a coupon where it's about $2 a can, I will buy some of this cold foam for a treat. Still much cheaper than buying a coffee out, and I can treat myself at home every day.
A lot of people will say, I make it black. I don't buy creamer. I don't do this. I don't do that. You're wasting money. But I have the money and I have the means to have my coffee at home the way I want to. And by having the coffee at home the way I want to, I'm not wasting money. I'm not going into debt. I can afford to have it the way I want to. And that is I guess that's the picture I'm trying to give everyone is having the means or not having the means should play into what we spend our money on. And that should be the final decision making factor, along with any priorities or goals that we have that we are saving for. So many of these things play into things behind the scenes. And that's why I just wanted to do this little video. Like I said, I love to do things that are food for thought. They get me to thinking as well. And I love sharing them with you as they present themselves to me. And I hope that you enjoy these videos as well. Thanks for listening today. I always look forward to reading your comments, and I hope to see you in the next video.